Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Very early morning flight here. Super dark outside. It's around 6:57 in the morning in the sim. We have a full flight ahead of us. So let's go and start up the plane. Let's acknowledge those errors.
Okay.
Looks good. We are starting off somewhere actually in Canada. Very near Toronto International. The only thing is, I don't see any controllers online yet. I am on VATSIM. Oh, that's going to be pretty handy.
System test. Okay.
And this will be a bit of a longer flight. So we'll see if I can squeeze everything in. I'll probably have to cut. I'll present some options when we are airborne, but for now, let's focus on getting the plane started. Let's turn on the strobes here. And start up the plane. Aux boost pump. Starter is on. I am logged into OnAir. And guys, we have our virtual airline available now for those who missed the announcement. So feel free to join. Look for the
Your flight
VA
will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
called Clumsy Airlines. The airline, the VA code is 5 letters. It's CLUMS. Charlie, Lima, Uniform, Mike, Sierra. We don't have much activity in there yet, but it's taking shape bit by bit. So, yeah. Join and we'll figure things out together because I'm not really an expert at VA management yet. We are doing a VA flight today though. First VA flight. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, that looks good. Let's go landing lights here. Oh, by the way, I'm using the lights from Uwaji Maya, the light fixes mod. So you can see very nice, powerful lights here. It is still dark though, and yes, it is a short field, or soft runway, grass runway, so quite tricky in all aspects, very dark and everything. Looks good. Alright, just setting up everything and we are good. Inertial separator is on as well. You can turn on the heater. We are actually sitting on the runway. This airport is so small, it doesn't even have any ramp. So it's just practically an airstrip. So we don't have air traffic control. We don't have center coverage here. So I'll just be announcing my thing on UNICOM. Let's go to VFR transponder. Make sure I'm on alt mode. And then I'll go and switch to UNICOM right here. There you go. Let me double check that there is still no center. Yeah, there is center everywhere except here in this area. Let me show you Vatastic. So you can see ATC coverage is pretty full. All of those with the highlighted areas. But this is where we are. Northwest of Toronto. That's us, I guess. Yeah, November 6389er Delta. Just to the northwest of Toronto Airport. Alright. So anyway, let's go and announce. Let me try and remember. This airstrip is called VOK, Victor Oscar Lima Kilo. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but we'll see how it goes. Let me compose my thoughts here how to announce. Right, let's maybe set the flaps first. Flaps are good. Okay, everything is good. Let's release the parking brake and hold the brakes instead. VOK traffic, TBM 89er Delta, departing runway 35 to the south. VOK traffic. That should be enough, I guess. Right, off we go. So since there is no center, I will have no one to file my flight plan at. Let's do this. Just keeping center line here, I can hardly recognize where the airstrip is. Alright, I hope there is enough runway. I can't even see what's in front. Oh my goodness, this is scary. Rotate.
Airborne time log.
I can actually see trees below. Positive rate. Tata brakes, gear up. Oh my goodness, that probably was not advisable to do in real life. But we made it, so I'm happy. Alright. Technically speaking, you can see the MFD there, that we are actually inside the Class Bravo airspace from Toronto. So normally we should have gotten clearance and everything, but since we don't have coverage yet, we have to live with what we can get. So by the way, did you guys see Stevo Knievo's latest video? The one where he is like, what was the name of the video? Mountainous trip into the night or something along those lines. Let me go to nav mode here and then FLC. That should be okay. Alright. Set AP. Let's see what they'll give us. Looking good there. Now I'm not sure if there are any clouds outside. It's so dark. Really cannot see anything. But we're making our way to the south now. And there's Toronto. We're actually going to fly over it. There it is. And yes, I am oscillating like crazy, dolphin dancing. So to work around that, we go to VS mode and just instead of FLC, go to VS in around 2,000 feet per minute. 1,500 to 2,000 feet per minute should be okay. And we'll just have to monitor our airspeed. Right, nav mode is set. So we're going to intercept that magenta line, the white line right now. So now I can share with you the flight plan. I think this will save a bit of time. So keep that base. And I don't think there are any clouds since I can see the stars outside. I can see icing though. Are we actually icing here? Yes, we are. Oh my goodness. Okay. Since we are icing, let's go and turn on the ice light to see outside. Yeah, we are getting some icing. My goodness. Okay. So let's do the airframe de-ice, prop de-ice, and windshield de-ice. Yeah, and that immediately fixes things. Beautiful. And now we are starting to see the sunrise outside. Oh, amazing. Perfect timing. Right, that's just interesting. Yeah, it's actually very cold here today. Even with no clouds, it's -2 degrees. Look at that. Wow. That's pretty scary. We actually had clouds a while ago. I'll go outside, okay? So it might get a bit noisy. Oh yeah, cloud layers below, so we were actually passing through a lot of clouds a while ago. Good. Any icing forming? No, I don't think so. We can turn off the lights there. Ice light, that's what the ice light is for, so you can see off your wing, because right, like at night, it's so dark you can't see anything. Right, but since we are out of the clouds, should be safe to turn off the inertial separator, and yes, those are like the lightning everywhere. Lightning strikes everywhere, thunder as well. And now you can see we're actually starting to lose airspeed here. This is what I hate about going VS. You really have to babysit the airspeed. Make sure you don't stall. We're going to apply more power. We can push on the throttle a bit more. We should be getting near Toronto now. Let me see that. I'll go outside again. There's the airport. Woo, lightning. Man, that is beautiful, isn't it? Early morning departure. Don't quite see Toronto yet. But that's fine. 10,000 feet. Once we hit 10,500, I will turn off the landing lights so OnAir doesn't penalize us. And then we'll go into detail on the OnAir VA and stuff while we don't have any ATC coverage yet. Because when we do cross over to the US, we do have full ATC coverage in there mostly. If you look at the VATSIM map, that's where we are, near Toronto. Once we cross over here, we should be within range of Cleveland Center. Now, I'm not sure how it works when you start from a non-covered area to a covered area. If you have to like file your flight plan there, or is it with the assumption that your flight plan has been cleared? You have been cleared for IFR clearance as filed. I'm going to assume the latter, but I'm sure they will correct me if I got it wrong. Man, look at the beautiful clouds and the city lights reflecting off the clouds there. So good. Man, that's nice. Well, I can get behind that. Looks like there's another layer of clouds there up ahead though. You have to be quite careful there. So let me show you the VA. Well, actually I can't show you the VA because I tried it last time. So to go to the VA, I can go to manage VA, but this is a huge mistake. I think it's something that OnAir should not allow, because I actually, behind the scenes, to explain with you a bit, I actually did this flight already yesterday, but it did not get registered in OnAir. Because apparently, if you have a VA like this one, right now I'm in my personal profile, so CLUM. The VA is CLUMS with a Sierra with an S in the end. So a personal airline is 4 letters, a VA is 5 letters. So right now I'm in the personal company. I'm flying the plane. And the cool thing here, if I look here in aircraft, you can see this is 6389er Delta. You see a green highlight there. That means this plane is owned or rented, but it's from the VA. And in the same way, if you look under pending jobs, you see some jobs here normal, and then you see some jobs which have a green highlight. These are jobs from the VA. So yeah, that's going to be quite tricky, but that's going to be cool. So whenever I go to the VA manage VA option, I can pick jobs there. I think I'm the only one authorized to pick jobs and rent planes at the moment, but feel free to join the VA and we'll organize things together bit by bit. So all the jobs I pick will appear on your screen as well if you're part of the VA. So all these four are visible to anyone who belongs to the VA, and anyone can take these flights, can do these jobs. So the one I'm doing right now is this one right here, going to Culpeper Regional. I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah. Let's have a look here. Go back a bit. Oh, look at that. Our airspeed is bleeding off. Caught it just in time. That's why I hate VS. Can't just leave it be. It's getting very dangerous. Okay. We should be right on top of Toronto now. Let me shallow the climb a bit. There it is, guys. Right above Toronto. That actually looks very nice, isn't it? It's worthy of a screenshot. Quite scenic. Especially with all these clouds and the sunrise just looming up ahead. Alright, 18,000 feet. You can switch to standard altimeter settings. 29er 9er 2. And from there, we should be good to go. No other planes in the vicinity. Yeah, we're still quite far from the airspace. I think it's this line. Let me see. Probably is this line right here, this orange line. By the way, I'm trying out a new mod. If you guys want to try. You know that issue we had last time with the simulator hanging right as I was on approach and I was working with the controller and suddenly
Air Canada 9980 heavy pushing off the gate 173 Alpha into the Alpha Lima alleyway.
Ooh, there's actually someone on UNICOM. So the guy's only pushing back though, so very far away from us. No issue for concern. So that issue with the MFD hanging, so remember when I was in the MFD flight plan and then it hanged, that apparently is a common issue, and that happens when you scroll down. Like when you press down continuously, at some point when you reach the end of the flight plan and still you press down, that's when the simulator hangs. So right now I don't have that issue anymore. I'm happy enough. I am confident enough to press down here as much as I can without risk of having the sim crash or hang on me, because there is a brilliant guy who is able to fix it. He looked through the files, found the problematic code. Apparently there was an endless loop that was getting triggered when you press down too much, and he fixed it and he posted the file. So that is in the mods list if you guys want to check it out. It involves overwriting a file in the official folder, but if you're familiar with creating community mods, you can easily make that into a mod as well. But yeah, there are instructions there in the link, just follow it. Looks good. Right, continuing our climb here, we're starting to pick up airspeed. Can push on the throttle more as we climb, thanks to the mods we have for the TBM, and we can make that climb steeper. 2,000 feet per minute should be good. Let's go 1.8. Right. What else do I have? Other updates I have. Well, maybe I show you the flight plan first. So here we are. This is a little nav map. We departed from Vok airstrip right here. Very small airstrip. We passed over Toronto-Pearson International, and we're now past that here, departing to the southeast. On our way to the southeast, somewhere in the... Actually, I'm not sure which area is this, but we should be... Okay, we are going to the... Where's the airport? Keep getting confused. This one. Culpeper Regional. Kilo Charlie Juliet Romeo. That's the airport. Which is pretty close southwest of Washington Dulles. Very large airport, I believe, huh? Class 5 probably airport. So yeah, pretty cool. We'll see how we go later, and once we cross over to the areas where we have ATC coverage, it should get a lot more lively. We'll see how it goes. Ooh, you see that lightning? That was scary. And I am slowing down again here, but I can push on the throttle more. Get some more power as we continue our climb. All looking good. Alright, so the only other update I have for you guys is I have finally switched.
Traffic here, Canada 9980 heavy, Boeing 777. Taxiing off of 7 Bravo, 40824 right, Toronto-Pearson.
Toronto-Pearson, okay. That guy's departing from Toronto-Pearson Airport. It's actually nice. We are in the range of the UNICOM frequency, and that's cool. So even though you don't have ATC coverage, you can still talk with other pilots, other virtual pilots in the vicinity. So it still is kind of a multiplayer experience. Oh man, that's beautiful. So what I was trying to mention is, yeah, we have a I am trying out the Navigraph beta now with the integration for Flight Sim 2020. So you guys have been recommending that to me. I actually tried it initially when the first version came out, and it was very buggy. Loading times were super long, lots of bugs. But now it seems like the latest version, is very ironed out. It's still in beta though, so take that with a grain of salt and beware. So we'll see how it looks. Actually, let's test it right now, because if you go to procedure here, what I hated, what pushed me to get into the beta for Navigraph, let me have a look at our airspeed. Okay, we're good. Is there was a problem with the airports I'm landing in. Most of the time the approaches were not available. So here, if we look at RNAV 22, yeah, this is perfect. This is correct now. What? Oh, the cabin differential pressure. That happens when you climb at a very steep rate. That's fine, we just dumped that a bit. Probably not standard operating procedure. That should be okay though. Alright, so before the Navigraph beta, this transition didn't exist. Like RNAV 22 looked completely different versus the chart. Now it is exactly like I expected. We still don't have the vectors to final transition, but I think that's more of a Flight Sim 2020 limitation than the Navigraph beta. So if you have a Navigraph subscription, I think getting into the beta now is a bit safer. So I can actually recommend it. But we'll keep on testing it, and we'll see in this flight how it goes. Right, so I will take a bit of rest here. I'll turn off the cameras here for a bit. Simulating like a real life pilot recording footage. And I'll bring you guys back when we have ATC coverage. Wish me luck. Catch you soon. Welcome back, guys. Looking at that beautiful view. So I just got a private message from is this Cleveland Center? They're asking me to contact them 125.42. Okay, so we'll see now how it goes. Let's plug that in, 125.42. Right? Center, good evening. TBM 6389er Delta at flight level 310, direct Jamestown VOR.
TDM 98 Delta, Cleveland Center, about squawk 5715 and mode chart.
Squawk 5715, Mo Charlie, TBM 6389er Delta. Five 715, right? I hope I got it right. So they didn't ask me to file an IFR.
Cleveland Center, good afternoon. United 692 is with you. Flight level 330, deviating to the northeast for weather. Requesting direct taxi when able.
United 692, Cleveland, Roger, standby.
No, I guess they should tell me that they have radar contact.
TDM 89 Delta, radar contact 20 miles
There you
north
go.
of Jamestown, level 310, welcome.
Position checks, thank you. TBM 89 Delta. Alright, so they told us that they got us in range. They have visibility of us. and they said they got us 20 miles to the north of Jamestown, DOR. So that's Juliet Hotel Whiskey, which is perfect because we are 22.5 miles away. And this is actually funny. Now that we are crossing over to Cleveland Center, it just appeared. Now we have also Toronto Center online. That's fine. Right, there's actually an overlap here. Interesting.
Cleveland Center, United 1671.
An overlap between the center airspaces, so you don't really know which frequency to tune
United
into.
1671 Cleveland Center, Roger.
Like if I show you how many centers there are.
Cleveland
in
Center, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but this is New Zealand 616
There
with
it
you at
is.
flight level 370 as well.
5 Cleveland centers. No way
New
to know
Zealand
which one it
616
is.
Cleveland Center.
So you really wait for a private message from them. Tell them to contact you. Okay, but that's handy. So we don't need to request IFR clearance. We assume that we got it. Beautiful sunrise. Also, I'm not sure, guys, how I do these videos moving forward. I'm open to suggestions. Right now, I'm probably going to cut a couple of minutes, a lot of minutes. Otherwise, it will get very long. But what I can do is I can probably post the full-length video in my Patreon page. So all the patrons, all the subs will get access to the full video. But I will post in YouTube the shorter one so that it's easier for consumption for the general public. And if you are more hardcore, then you can get easy access to that one if you are a sub or a patron, a Twitch sub or a patron. But I'm not really sure yet. I'm thinking if you should do that here. I'll probably wait for your comments before I do anything. So for now, I'll cut it. But if
United 1180, contact Cleveland Center 134.77. Good night.
if any of the Twitch subs or the patrons are watching, $3 patrons and up, you should have access to this. If you want access to like a full length one and you don't want me to cut stuff, if you want access to the full like VATSIM communications with others, let me know so I can post it there, and then I can instead edit the video and cut it for the general public. So alright, cruising at 309 knots ground speed. So our true airspeed is 321 knots, 326, well it's gusty. But we are only traveling across the ground at 308 knots, which is roughly around, I don't know, 320 miles per hour, 330? Very roughly speaking, I don't know the conversion. And that's because we have a headwind. So we have winds coming from 240 coming from the southwest, and that is pushing against us. So we have a headwind component there. The headwind component is 16 knots because it's 323 minus 306. That's the headwind component. So that's pushing against us and slowing us down. But it's a beautiful day outside, and I'm more than happy to stay here and enjoy. Anyway, I'll pause here again, and then I'll bring you guys back when there's more action, when we get to more populated areas for more radio communication with VATSIM, and when things get a bit more hectic with the descent, with the approach, and everything else. Catch you guys soon. Coming across some precipitation in here. I'm not sure I want to go through that just because it's super cold outside. Might introduce us to some icing conditions, so they'll try to request a new cruising altitude from center. Center TBM 6389er Delta request.
6389 Delta, go ahead.
TBM 6389er Delta will like to get a new cruising altitude, flight level 290 if possible. We have some weather coming up.
TBM 89 Delta, to maintain level 290.
Send maintain flight level 290, thank you. TBM 89er Delta. Good. That was nice. 290. Not sure if that's enough, but we'll see. So we'll descend and hope. Oh, maybe I did that a bit too late, huh? Well, it's the thought that counts. That's fine. Okay. I have not been getting icing yet. Anti-ice is off, except for the pitot heat and the stall heater. So that looks good. I've pulled back on the yoke as well, on the throttle rather, just so we don't get into the risk of overspeeding, going beyond the maximum operating speeds for this plane. 1,000 to go. It's been a pretty gentle flight so far. Hopefully that doesn't change. It's been a very quiet flight as well, not much activity from the frequency, but we do get a few calls here and there, so that's nice to hear that I'm not alone. I do kind of wish for more stuff here though, because in Flight Sim right now there is no possibility to see the other planes in the MFD. I think physically I think I should be able to see them outside my window if they're close enough. I have not seen one yet though in VATSIM, so I'm not sure if that even works. But yeah, we don't see them in the radar, I don't think, in the MFD. And it looks like we do need to descend a bit more.
Dolphin, welcome back.
Although it doesn't look quite as thick in here anymore, so I think we'll keep it. Yeah, I'll just keep this cruising altitude of 290.
Citrus 28 contact, Cleveland Center 119.87, good night.
We can push
1987, have a good night,
throttle
Citrus
again
28.
fully. There you go. And until I get icing, I think I'll keep it here. Those clouds don't look very nasty, violent anyway. But it's a good exercise, you know, getting requests to center, not being shy about things you need to do. Safety first, right? My goodness. I've been treated to some nice views all throughout. Yeah, this is how it looks like ever since the entire flight. That the sun just starting to peek out there over the horizon. Beautiful. We are 67 miles away from our top of descent. How I know that? Well, little Navmap is smart enough for it. You can see the flight plan elevation profile here. 130 miles away from destination.
2570 Cleveland Center, good evening.
66 miles away from top of descent right there. And how does it know my top of descent? Well, it is capable of registering or tracking your aircraft performance. And then you can it's a very complex tool. It takes some time to learn, but read up on it, do trial and error, and you'll get used to it eventually. So it will know what your plane is capable of, what is its climb speed, how much does it consume in terms of fuel, cruising speed, descent speed, and everything. And based on these parameters, it will create a flight plan for you. It will know your top of descent, it will know your top of climb, and you can see our breadcrumbs here. They're actually quite close.
United
very
40,
close.
cross Keating at maintain level 330.
With what the plan was doing for us or was expecting of us, and what we did actually, down to the T. So very accurate. Alright, we are clear of clouds. Thankfully I didn't descend more because it looks like there are some clouds there below. So that looks good. I'll keep this, and yes, looks like... Oh, and by the way, since we changed to flight level 290, I can easily change that here in the flight plan. And you can see the top of descent also changing bit by bit, just adjusting. So if I go lower even more, top of descent will change drastically, right? So I'll put that at 290. There you go. So top of descent is still in 62 miles. Good. Right. So, yes, bring you guys back when there's more action. See you soon. Oh man, I wish I was recording that time. I was so pro. Center actually gave me descent instructions. They told me to descend on pilot's discretion, maintain 10,000 feet, and altimeter 3004, and I read it back perfectly, and I was not recording. Dang it. But yeah, I plugged it in 3004. Now, based on little Navmap, we are
1547 across billet at 1000.
15 miles away from top of descent.
1000, JetBlue 1547.
So I think I'll start it now just so we have a bit of leeway. So let's maintain here 10,000 feet. This is the limit that ATC gave us in terms of our descent. So plugging in 10,000 right there. And for those asking, I've gotten a couple of comments here how I can change my heading and altitude here without touching the knobs, because the knobs can be a bit fiddly, aren't they?
JetBlue 1547, the Washington altimeter 3006.
You can actually assign hotkeys to them. If you look for controls, look for heading and altitude. There would be heading left, right, altitude up, down. Just assign keys to them or buttons.
Southwest 3125 with 2230, speed restriction 280 west.
Alright, so let's go.
Southwest 3125, Washington Center, climb and maintain flight level 400.
1,500 feet per
40
minute.
Southwest 2135.
Slow it down, pull back on the throttle,
Center United 374,
and keep the speed around 200 knots indicated.
United 374, Washington Center, climb and maintain flight level 340.
This one on the speed tape, I'm not sure of the official name as well, this magenta line on the speed tape, which tells you for the next
Southwest
X
3125.
seconds at
Two
which
questions.
speed you'll
Do
be
we still
going
have that
to.
speed
You'll
restrictions,
be
and
at.
maybe leave the cockpit for
It's
about
very
5 to
helpful
10
as
minutes?
well, so you can plan ahead if you
Yeah, I'll
are,
need the speed till you're back, and then we
slowing
can
down too
look
much.
at it.
or if you are
Washington Center, good evening.
going to
Southwest
maintain your speed at that
3126,
point.
flight level 230, 280 knots.
Like if I
Southwest
pull back on
3126, Washington
the
Center, climb and maintain
throttle
level
completely,
380.
you'll see the
Climb
speed
maintain
tape,
level
the magenta
380,
line
Southwest
extending. That means we are slowing down fast. And if I push it back again, push back the throttle here, then that magenta indicator would be zeroing out like so, which means we are maintaining our speed. Very helpful. There is probably a technical term for that, but I'm very bad at memorizing these technical terms. So let's call that the magenta speed tape. The speed tape pattern. Okay. Now with the Boeing Banana, yeah, you see how I am with the...
GBM 89 Delta, contact Potomac approach 119.85.
Oh, nice. Approach on 119.85, TBM 6389 Delta, thank you.
United 374, transition to Mach .80 or greater.
5, Potomac approach, interesting.
150.
Interesting. How does that work? Potomac approach? What the heck is that?
So the 1359, read back correct. 8 is Golf. Expect runway 15 right.
Can we use their ATIS as well, I wonder? Well, we'll check in with them and we'll see what they ask of us. Right. Turn on the inertial separator here as well because we're going through some clouds. Potomac approach, TBM 6389 Delta, flight level 253, descending 10,000 feet.
November 89er Delta, Potomac approach. Very good evening to you, sir. At pilot's discretion, descend maintain 10,000. Culpeper altimeter 3006. And when able, say approach request.
Altimeter 3006, descent at pilot's discretion 10,000 feet. And we'd like our nav 22 approach, please, if possible.
TBM 89er Delta, sure, you can expect RNAV 22 approach.
Expecting our nav 22 approach, TBM 89er Delta, thank you. Cool.
Approach 7 Alpha Navigraph taxi.
Right, so where's the banana? If we can expect the RNAV approach for RNAV 22, I do want the full thing. So let me load up the
November
chart.
777 Alpha Mike, runway 20, taxi via Victor Alpha.
I do have Navigraph charts here. RNAV
Victor Alpha
22.
to 20777 Alpha.
Show that. I'll pin this. And then I'm also going to pin the chart for the airport so we have visibility on what the airport layout is. Okay, RNAV 22. So the only way in the flight plan here in Flight Simulator 2020, the only way we have access to it, push back on the throttle here so we slow down, is we go to Casanova. Casanova is the only transition. We cannot go juice Doyat here. Interestingly enough, we cannot go vectors either. So I'd like to do the full RNAV approach via the Casanova transition. So let's do that. So RNAV 22 Casanova transition right here. But before I do that, I'll do the workaround. I'll add an en route waypoint in here. One sec. So after Ronaldi, I'll add Casanova, Charlie, Sierra, November. That should be this one, very close to us. And then from there, I will load the procedure. RNAV 22 Casanova. I hope this works. Let's see. Oh my goodness, what is that? That is looking pretty scary. That might be flight sim. That might be Navigraph induced. B-Bone, Luray, Lil B, Tiki. That's the arrival. Okay, let's unload the arrival. Remove that. There you go. That's much better. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. So we have the approach. Casanova would be the initial approach fix to Doyat, Calpe, and then the runway. And if you compare that with the chart, that's exactly what it is. Casanova, Doyat, Calpe, and then runway. Runway 22. So we enter, we go. Let's see. We are descending quite slow here. Let me steepen the descent to 2,000 feet per minute. Pull back more on the throttle because at Casanova we are expected to be at 3,000 feet. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, it is a bit. We are lagging behind, so let's actually step that up a bit. 2,500 feet per minute. There you go. So we reach Ronaldi at 10,000. Oh, actually was not looking. My goodness, that was scary. Let's turn on the de-ice here. Thankfully, the TBM has very powerful de-icing. I guess it's utilizing the bleed air, the heat from the engine, to somehow divert that to the different areas of the plane to heat them up and remove the icing from the important areas. That looks good already. Good. Alright, crossing 18,000 feet, so let's go to 3006, the altimeter, local altimeter in this area as provided by air traffic control. Okay, maintain that. Let me put here 122.8, just so when they ask us to switch over to the UNICOM, because this airport is non-towered, I think. Let's double check. So yeah, Potomac approach 128.525, different frequency, but it's the same banana. But yeah, they have CTAF, so it's a common traffic advisory frequency. There is no tower, so we won't be following that in VATSIM. Instead, we'll be tuning into 122.8, the UNICOM frequency in VATSIM, but it should be the same meaning. Okay, so once we see the airport, we can cancel IFR, and then we can follow this. So let's brief the approach. We'll be entering, we'll be approaching, transitioning via Casanova here, turning 068, tracking 068 towards the Doyat waypoint, and then instead of turning right towards Calpe, we will actually be doing a procedure turn, which in this case, I think it's a parallel turn, parallel entry into this holding. So we'll be doing a 218 track, actually no, 038 track here for 1 minute on this. So we'll be going opposite from Doyat. Once we cross, we'll be tracking 038, so we'll be going northeast like that. We'll be timing it for 1 minute, and after 1 minute we will turn left. No, actually it's a right turn, huh? Okay, it's a right turn, so I should be doing a teardrop approach, probably. I'm confused, guys. I should have read up on this before I did this. I think I can do a parallel entry.
1359 looks like my audio for VATSIM client disconnected. Thanks for letting me know.
No, let's do a teardrop. I think teardrop is proper, because if it's a right turn, then I should be doing right turns. I think. If I got this wrong, feel free to correct me. So we'll do a teardrop entry.
Fully throttle runway 20 Alpha Base.
I will approach
Southwest
Doyat
1359, push onto Tango
and
and
go
close face north.
for 008 heading. And I should not forget
November
the
89er Delta, fly heading 120, descend maintain 6000.
heading 120, descending 6000, TBM 89 Delta.
November 7 Alpha, Mike,
20 heading.
make an on-course departure,
Heading 120.
wind 140 at 5, runway 20, clear for takeoff.
Delta takeoff 20.
As you can see, I'm panicking a bit. 6,000. 1,000 feet per minute. Did we turn on our landing lights? Yes, we did. Okay, good. We have our inertial separator on as
At
well.
482, Potomac departure, radar contact, clear direct wings, climb and maintain flight level 340.
And it looks like we can ignore that Casanova transition because I didn't specifically request for it. I should have said that. So I think they'll be vectoring us in to run our nav22. So instead, I'll do a Doyat here. I'll say activate leg to waypoint. Does that work? I don't think it works.
Hi, Phoenix 482, I'm sorry, I forgot I'm not center today. Amend altitude, climb and maintain flight level 230, center will give you higher.
Potomac approach, good evening, JetBlue 1547 with you, 13,800 for 1,000, direct billet.
Pulling back on the yoke here.
JetBlue 1547, Potomac approach, hello. Descend via the deal, free arrival, Washington altimeter 3006. Expect the river visual, runway 19er approach.
Activate leg to waypoint is not working.
Arrival, expect the visual runway 19er approach, JetBlue 1547.
Oh, that's working. Somehow it detected it. Okay, good. Good. That's lucky. Slowing it down, reaching 6,000 soon. Perfect. At Doyat, we should be at... let me keep this in my other screen so I have complete visibility. We should be at 3,000 by Doyat, so we are very late here. So let me slow down and deploy flaps and go as slow as possible so I can catch up.
November 7 Alpha Mike, radar contacts passing 1,500 feet, maintain VFR.
Maintain
Flaps.
VFR, 7 Alpha Mike.
1 notch. Minimums.
November
here.
89er Delta. I'm sorry, I forgot to give you descent. For now, just turn. Flight present heading descend, maintain 3,000, and I'll get you back around.
Thank you, no worries. Descending 3,000, TBM 89 Delta. Yeah, we are a bit too high, reaching Doyat. We should be at 3,000 by now.
Southwest 1359, runway 15, right, taxi via Tango Papa.
So what they'll do instead is they'll route us around. Fly present heading. They'll probably make us turn into Doyat later on, and we'll see how that goes. Wish us luck. No, but it's all good. It's part of the fun, right? Now, while that's happening, what we can do is set up the minimums. So here is the chart again. The minimum saying here is decision altitude is 657. There is a condition here though. I don't quite know what the condition is. I'll probably need to read up on it. But for now, just for the sake of simplicity, we'll just maintain. Maybe let's maintain 700. You know,
TBM
give it a bit
89er
of-
Delta, turn right heading 200.
Right heading 200, TBM 89er Delta. 200. Interesting. I thought they would make me go around. Alright. They'll probably have me intercept this final approach fix. Alright. That's looking good actually. So 700 feet is what I was mentioning. 700. Enter. That should appear there in minimums. And we should hear a call out of minimums once we cross there. Good. Now the final approach fix for this approach is Calpe, which is probably that waypoint right there. Does look good. 3,000. We should be at 2,200 by that point. So I'll already plug it in, but I won't execute it yet, just so we are a bit ahead.
TBM 89er Delta, turn right heading 250.
Right heading 250, TBM 89er Delta.
TBM 89er Delta, descend maintain 2,200.
There we go. Descending 2,200, 89er Delta. Alright. Yeah, we are, great vectoring there. We are right smack going to intercept Calpe. Now we need the Boeing banana here, and that's the Boeing banana is right there, so we can actually... Oh, we're reaching altitude already.
TBM 89er Delta, 4 miles from Calpe. Maintain present heading 2,200 until established on the final approach course. Cleared RNF runway 22 approach, Culpeper.
Cleared for the RNAV 22 approach. We'll maintain present heading until reaching Calpe at 2,200 feet. Thank you. TBM 89er Delta. Not sure if I read that back correctly, but
TBM 89er Delta, no traffic observed between you and Culpeper Airport. Radar services are terminated. Frequency change approved. Report IFR cancellation. This frequency.
Frequency change approved. Will report cancellation in a bit. TBM 89er Delta. Thank you. Oh, I'm fumbling around. Okay. So I think we can go nav mode here.
1359, wind 170 at 3. Runway 15 right, cleared for takeoff.
Nav mode just so intercept that, and then I can go approach mode as well probably. Let's deploy our landing gear. To approach mode, I'm hoping that it works. There it is. The glide path should be captured. There we go. And we have captured the glide path. Now going back to
United 482, contact Washington Center 13.
I should switch to UNICOM. Let's say... Alright. Calpe traffic. TBM 89er Delta. 5 miles. 5 mile final, runway 22. Calpe traffic. Good. Missed approach for this one is 3,000 feet. So I'll put that in the altitude selection. There's the airport. So actually we can switch and request cancellation of IFR. Center TBM 6389er Delta. Request cancel IFR.
TBM 89er Delta, IFR cancellation received time 0025 Zulu. Squawk and maintain VFR. Have a safe landing at Culpeper.
Thank you. Squawking VFR. TBM 89er Delta. Good. Right. Squawk VFR. Awesome. I like this. So immersive. My goodness. We even got an actual approach frequency. Even though the approach is not for this airport, we are in the same vicinity. So I think that's why we got coverage. So if I show you the fantastic radar, that's where we are, right on the border of the approach there. So the approach is actually for this airport, Washington National. But yeah, I think the approach covers the entire area. That's why we saw it also in the chart. Okay. We are going pretty close here. We are below 122 knots. Full flaps. Let me open the airport chart so I have visibility on it. Alright, let's go through the checklist. Landing lights are on. Giphy. Gear is extended. Inertial separator is on. Flaps are full. And yaw damper is coming off. Together with autopilot, and we are on our own. Now I must say, guys, minimums landing. I must say, guys, my landing skills with the TBM unfortunately have not yet returned, if they ever were there in the first place. Yeah, which is a bit unfortunate. And as you guys keep telling me, going around is always an option. Although with FlightSim 2020, I know this is going to sound as an excuse. You can see loading the approach, we don't have any missed approach plans loaded up in there. So it is a bit challenging. But I should not hesitate to go around if the approach is not stable. Also, we are getting some tailwinds here at the back. 85 knots though, looking good there. Just keeping that approach in. Yeah, that's looking good. We can do this. Alright. Wish me luck. Here we go. I should actually have announced that we are on short final. Going to idle. Floating a bit, but that's fine.
Landing time
Yeah,
log.
not the smoothest.
Landed at Kilo
Still a bit
Charlie
rusty, guys.
Juliet
Sorry about that.
Romeo. Culpeper Regal.
But it was a safe landing. Just a bit bouncy. Alright. Off we go. Maybe I need to go and get my reversers on. Alright. Slow down. Let's exit through this taxiway. Apologies for the landing. We'll get better at it as I get used to the TBM again, hopefully. I've lost my way. Alright, very good. Taxi lights. I am tuned into UNICOM. What's the name of this airport? Calpe. Calpe traffic, TBM 89er Delta, clear off the runway. Calpe traffic. Culpeper Regional. Good. But yeah, I should practice go-arounds more often. I think we'll try to focus more on that in the coming episodes. Maybe we'll do a specific go-around maneuver. Like we're going to approach the runway at a very low. We're going to do a low approach, so going to go very close to the runway. But at the end of it, I will go around, so we will know what to do when that happens. It's not if, it's when. Especially in my case. No, there is no shame in going around. That is the thing that we should follow. And even, as you guys pointed out, very much agree with this, even if it means delaying, extending the video, getting more delays and more hassles, at the end of the day, going around is always an option and should always be a priority. Safety first. Okay. Landing lights are off. Taxi lights can go off. Everything can go off there. And clean it up. Inertial separator. When did I turn that off? I should only turn that off once I stop, not when taxiing. My bad. Okay. Did the OnAir detect that we are on the ground? I hope so. Otherwise, I will cry. Looks good there. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. Right. Cut off. Close the engine. 1 hour. No matter
Engine
what I
off
do,
time logged. End of flight. Registered in OnAir company.
no matter what I do, the videos always last for an hour. My goodness. Okay. So flight sim captured that, OnAir captured that, so we are all good here. Beautiful. I had a fun flight today. Thank you guys for joining me. Let's do a short debriefing on OnAir. We earned 219 XP, 20% bonus. We got everything. Comfort, safety, aircraft handling, and we got a reputation increase. Unfortunately, we did not earn anything because it's a two-legged flight. So if you look at the jobs here, we have done the first leg or one leg. Is that the one? No, that's not the one. This one, yeah, delivered. That's the one we did. But we need to do one more. So I need to go back to that scary airstrip and go to a different area this time. And going back there, I actually found something close. So we are starting from Culpeper and going to McKinney, which is northbound near Toronto. So going north again, then taking this job, going south again, and from there we can go to Asheville, right? But if you look at my logistics here, so if we look at the cash, there is nothing. There is no cost at all for me because the 6389er Delta was with me personally before, but I released it. As you can see, the renting bond got released. Now it is part of the VA. So if I manage the VA here, we should see the costs here instead, like the landing fees, the refueling, everything. The parking should be incurred by the virtual airline, as it's the one who is renting the plane. So if you look here and look at the UTC descending, that's the one. 1.5 hours, 920, landing fee, parking. So all the costs are incurred by the airline. So feel free to join the VA. Let's go to the VA properties. That's the one. We have a Discord server as well. That's the link. The code is CLUMS. Charlie Lima Uniform Mike Sierra. There we go. CLUMS. Company CLUMS in Thunderworld. We have a couple of guys already. Super Farty Air even contributed. Is now a shareholder. Not yet sure what shareholders should do. Maybe they should get some dividends. But yeah, you guys let me know if you're part of this. You guys let me know your preferred airplane and your preferred route. Coming from where, and I'll find jobs for you. Because at this point, I'm the only one who is authorized to rent planes and look for jobs. But whenever I accept something, you should see that in the pending jobs on your screens as a green item. Okay? Anyway, thank you guys for joining me on this episode. Sorry it went long. And yeah, let me know if you're a Twitch sub or a patron, if you would be interested in seeing the full-length video, and I'll see what I can do. I'll be waiting for your comments. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Clumsy flying. Oh man, I'm happy. Despite the landing, I'm happy. Thank you and bye-bye. Clumsy flying, guys. See you soon.